Tonight, new details in the killing of DJ Warras. Illegal initiation deaths under scrutiny. Extreme weather warnings, a massively overcrowded bus stopped on the N1, and outrage after a cyclist is killed by a drunk driver.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
New information has emerged in the murder of DJ Warras. The media personality was auditing a hijacked building when his security team uncovered alleged criminal activity. His close friend and mentee, Nicole Nelson, says the site was linked to brothels, serious safety violations, and possible drug manufacturing. Warras had applied for 6 protection orders just days before he was shot dead outside Zambezi House in Pretoria.
Allegedly, brothels. There was just weeks prior a rape of a little girl. I am of the view that there may have even been manufacturing, small scale, of paraphernalia, mandrax.
Conservative activist Leo Bozell has been confirmed by the US Senate as America's next ambassador to South Africa, signalling a tougher diplomatic tone. He steps in after months without a US ambassador in Pretoria, following disputes over claims of a genocide in South Africa, the ICJ case against Israel, and Pretoria's stance on Russia, Iran, and China. Bozell has said he'll press South Africa on all three as relations between Washington and Pretoria remain strained over foreign policy and G20 participation. This is what he had to say in October.
And when South African politicians greet as friends those who seek to destabilize the world's peace and security, then common ground between our two countries feels harder to find.
The death toll linked to initiation schools has climbed to 18 this summer. Young boys, mainly from the Eastern Cape, have been undergoing traditional initiation practices, some in illegal, unregulated camps. Reports show negligence and dehydration remain the leading causes of death. The government is now urging traditional leaders to help shut down illegal schools.
These tragic deaths are not caused by culture, but by illegal initiation schools, unqualified practitioners, neglect, dehydration, and abuse, among other things. The minister extends his heartfelt condolences to the families and communities who have lost their loved ones during this period of mourning and pain.
It's shaping up to be a long, wet, festive season. The South African Weather Service has issued multiple warnings for severe thunderstorms as the country moves into a weak La Niña phase. Heavy rainfall, damaging winds, hail and localized flooding are expected in several provinces.
With the seasonal forecast expecting above normal rains in the eastern parts of the country, expected to cover the northwestern parts of Gauteng, the Free State, as well as in Mpumalanga, into areas of KwaZulu-Natal and the eastern half of the Eastern Cape. We're expecting these conditions to last up until at least on January, February, and it looks like the weak La Niña season is still in effect, especially for now into then. Temperatures are starting to be in the mix between above normal as well as below normal, especially for maximum temperatures in the eastern parts of the country. So as we head out to Christmas, we're still expecting more rains, especially thunderstorms that are expected in the afternoon. This will cover Mpumalanga as well as into KwaZulu-Natal and the eastern half of the Eastern Cape. So you can still expect much more of the rainy conditions up until around January as well as the end of February.
Yeah. A 65-seater bus carrying 117 passengers, 52 more than allowed, has been impounded in Limpopo. The bus was stopped on the N1 bypass near the Peter Mokaba Stadium while travelling from Gauteng to Malawi. The Limpopo Transport Department says the vehicle will remain impounded until the required fine is paid.
One driver, 101 adults and 15 minors were found in this bus. What worries us more is that yesterday night when travelling from Gauteng to here, because we are told he's going to Malawi, it was given a few tickets in Gauteng.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has received the interim report from the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry 3 months after corruption allegations by KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi triggered the probe. The interim findings will remain confidential, with the final report expected next year. Health authorities in the Western Cape are warning of a growing measles outbreak across both urban and rural areas, including Khayelitsha, Mitchells Plain and Somerset West. The department is also managing diphtheria cases, linking the spread to declining vaccination rates.
The Western Cape is experiencing a measles outbreak along with managing diphtheria cases in parts of the Cape Metropole. With vaccination rates declining across the province, many children are now vulnerable.
Parliament has wrapped up the year with the NCOP passing key legislation on immigration and government funding. The Immigration Amendment Bill now requires undocumented foreign nationals held for deportation to appear in court within 48 hours. Changes to the Division of Revenue Act also unlock an extra 2.9 billion rand for disaster-damaged municipal infrastructure.
And this amendment bill really helps, especially the law enforcement officials, in terms of how they should proceed with regard to illegal immigrants that are in detention.
Police have arrested 13 illegal miners in Bapong in the northwest over the past 2 weeks. Rescue efforts to reach 5 miners believed to be trapped underground are expected to begin as rescuers shut down shafts and remove heavy machinery. Outrage is growing after cyclist Idris Sharif was killed in a crash involving a drunk driver. A petition calling for tough enforcement has gathered more than 4,000 signatures. Fellow cyclist and friend Aidan Erasmus says cyclists are legitimate road users and the law agrees.
I walked past it and everything had been kind of contained, and I didn't see any familiar bikes at first. And then later on, when we were having coffee, a friend tried to call Idris' cell phone, and obviously someone at the scene picked it up, and that's kind of how we heard about what happened.
The suspect has been released on bail and remains in possession of his driver's license. And festive safety has been stepped up in the mother city with more than 200 peace officers deployed across the CBD, Table Mountain and popular beaches. In the UK, teachers will be trained to identify early signs of misogyny in boys, including how to address consent and the sharing of intimate images. And in Japan, hundreds of citizens are suing the government over climate inaction after the country's hottest summer on record. And here we have a very wet summer, so stay dry. See you for more again tomorrow.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.